Welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia, we make brand new treasures. All right, so today I'm doing something totally different than I've done before. I'm taking images that you might find in a program or a brochure, images of Broadway logos, and turning them into nail art. Look at that. How fun is that? You can see all the different logos from different musicals. We've got a couple there too. So how fun that you can take these images and you can transform your nails into a Broadway showcase. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get crafting. Okay, so here we are ready to do the other hand. I've got one hand done. I'm going to do the second one for you. So I'm going to tell you, I'm right-handed. So doing the images on my right hand using my left hand was a bit tricky, so I'm hoping it'll be a little bit easier for me where I'll be able to use my dominant hand on the next one. So just want to give you a little bit of a close-up here. So you see this is Lion King, and I added little dots around. My thought was that it could look like, the lights. You could, I suppose, if you really wanted to, put rhinestones. I was afraid they would get in the way of my everyday activities, so I chose not to do that. So let me tell you some of you can see here the other ones. I've got Waitress, Once on This Island, Phantom, and Kinky Boots on this hand. So let me show you where I got the images. So the images, I happen to have a couple of these guidebooks to Broadway, and you can find these in programs too. But if you look in the back, they have these tiny little circles that have the show logo in them. And I kept looking at them thinking, what can I use those for? And I thought, what? I can put those on nails. That would be really fun. And, it's a little bit out there. I get it. But for a Tony Award party, that would be really fun. So basically what you need to do is literally, I just cut the page out and cut the little circles out using just a pair of scissors. You don't need to watch me cut them out. I've done that already. And so I've got some here that I'm going to use. Now, I have tweezers here because they are quite small. So you see there's Miss Saigon. They're quite small. And what I've done, because if you notice your nails are rounded, I've actually taken the image and I've kind of rounded it a little bit. If you can see there, I did that. I found that was helping them to adhere to the fingernails a little bit easier. So tweezers I found were really helpful. And once I cut out some of the images, you notice some of them are a little bit smaller than others. So that for me made it a little bit easier. I'm just trying to scroll in a little bit for you so you can see a little bit easier for, your nails are different sizes. Obviously your thumb is, bigger than your pinky finger, for example. All right, so some of the other things that you need for this, obviously you're going to need the polish. So I've already done my nails in a neutral. I added actually a little bit of sparkle to them just for fun. But I've actually used a gel polish here. So I have a top coat with gel polish. That needs to be cured with the UV. So I've got my mini one here to cure that. But you could do it with regular polish too. I just happen to do it with the gel polish. Obviously you need your images. I used a pair of tweezers. I have a dotting tool here, and the reason I use the dotting tool is if you see on my Lion King, the little dots around it, that's what I used. I used this little dotting tool right here, and this is white gel polish. And you're going to think, why does she have a bottle cap here? I just put the gel polish on top of that. It's not going to cure, but it gives me a place to actually put that polish while I'm working. I have a nail file too, just in case I need that. All right, so that's basically all that is needed for this. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with my thumb just because it's probably easier for you to see. So what I did, and I'm sure there are other ways to do this as well, is I took a very small amount of the gel polish and I put a coat on my nail. Then I took the image here and I placed it right on the nail. And you see how the tweezers are helpful just in getting that where you want it. And if you notice, this is actually, there we go, okay. And then I'm going to carefully put a coat of the polish on top of it. Oops. And you gotta be careful because the polish can get slippery and it can move it. Okay. And then I'm going to cure it right away. So basically, in this particular case, I'll leave it under there for about 2 cycles. So it's about 30 seconds or 60 seconds per cycle, and I'll leave it under there for 2 cycles. I'm not going to let you make you sit and watch me cure it, but I will put it through twice and then I'll come back. Okay, so it's gone through twice and you can see that it's pretty solid on there right now. There you go. And now I'm going to do the others. So again, and I'm going to look at the size. So I chose a Wicked there because that was the largest. So I'm going to choose Miss Saigon for this one just because of the size of it, because that's a larger image. Again, just put that right on. There we go. And then I'm going to quickly put the others on too. So you can see this is a fun way to, let's do Frozen in the middle one there, to kind of make your nails look like, you know, Broadway ready. Turn, turn, turn. Let's be persnickety. Come on, turn. There we go. Okay, like that. So now I'm going to carefully put a coat over, because it can move about. And don't worry, we are going to put other coats on top of this too, because we're going to put the dots around it. Now you don't have to. You could just leave it like this. I chose to put the dots around because to me it looked like the marquee lights around it. I thought that was kind of fun. And when I was choosing the images, I was looking at colors too, like, you know, having some dark and some light, but you could choose whatever inspires you. It could be all the same show, it could be pictures of characters from the show. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it in for 2 times, and those will cure on there, and then we'll add the next step. Okay, so I put it through twice, and they are on there now. Now it's a little rough around the edges, but that's not going to matter because we're going to add another top coat on anyway. So we're going to put as if you remember from here, we're going to put the white around to look like the neon lights around it. So like I said, I'm using a bottle cap here just just to put the white gel polish on. And I'm using this dotting tool. This came in a kit with all different sizes. You see this is the larger end, and this is, you can see that, a smaller end. They have all different sizes. You can get these online. I actually bought them online, and so they're great for making flowers and such. So basically you want to stabilize your hand, and you're just putting the dotting tool in the paint, and I'm doing it around the edges. So I started at like 12 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock, a little bit, and then I did like 3 o'clock, and then 9, and then I decided to go right in between, like 1 and 2, and then 4 and 6, and 4 and 5, sorry. And then 7, 8, and then 10, 11. Oops. Yeah, like that. So if you can see that here. So I'm going to actually cure this again. So because that gel polish will smudge if it's not cured. So I am going to put that underneath the UV light and let that cure, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the other 4. Okay, so there it is. Those white dots have been cured. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add the dots to the other 4. I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch me in real time, but then you'll get to see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so I have added, you can see the dots around each of those designs. And the dots really, for me, were more about, if you don't cut them exactly right, it's a way of kind of covering up the raw edges of the paper. But again, it also makes it kind of look a little bit like a marquee. All right, so now I do want to add another coat on top of this, the top coat. This is just the one that I have. You can use any top coat for gel polish that you have in your nail stash. This would be great even on, like I said, pedicure too, if you want to do that. And this is just to protect it, so it gives us another coat on top. So again, I'm going to run this underneath for twice, and I'll be back and we'll do the other 4. So this one is completely cured. You can see, how fun is that? I think that's really sweet. It does give a little bit of a raised feel to it. You know, the dots are a little bit raised, and obviously the paper there. All right, so I'm going to add the top coat to these 4 and then cure those. And there they are. I just love these. I just think they're so fun. I mean, they're not perfect, but what a great way to celebrate musical theater. If you got a musical theater party or an opening night, I just think these are really fun. And you saw they're not very long to do. That doesn't take very long. Just using the images from the programs and then using the gel polish. But you could use regular polish too. It just takes a little bit longer to cure. So I hope you try these. Please, please send me pictures if you do. I'd love to see what you've come up with. So thank you for joining me for this week's theater craft. And I hope you have a great week, everyone. I'll see you next week.